Hi there, Matthew. James Withall here from Rupert Resources, CEO of Rupert Resources. Obviously, our project Ikkari in Northern Finland, this gold project has gathered a lot of attention, so glad to spend some time talking to you again.
Hi, James. Thanks very much. You were trotting over to some of the conferences in the US. What's the mood of the nation over there?
Well, I think it was certainly a bit sanguine. I think people were a bit. I didn't go to the Beaver Creek conference, but I did go to the Denver Gold one. But I think it's quite tough times in the junior end of the market for sure. People looking for money and trying to make their plans for next year. I think people a bit concerned about the situation. Maybe.
Right. Okay. And a little bit of that can be seen in the way that your share price has come off. I think last time we spoke, you were at sort of like 650. We're at 360 today. Is that the market? Is it people expecting news of PEAs and other things? What do you put it down to?
Yeah, I think we've been caught up with the rest of the market now. I mean, in reality, we still outperformed the GDXJ over the last year and even year to date. So I guess that's testament to the quality of the project. But we have certainly started to drift down, even in the last week or so, with all the volatility that's there and maybe a bit of a rush for cash going on. But
right.
Yeah, it's an interesting time to look at the shares again.
Well, it's kind of what I want to talk to you about, because I'm sort of looking at companies. Like, I guess the running joke is most CEOs come on and tell me why they're undervalued, right? I think that's been the case pre-COVID, pre-Russia. It's what you're meant to do. But right now, there appear to be some very heavily discounted stocks. What I've got to try and do is work out which ones are for genuine reasons, because I think when the wind blows and a few trees get shaken violently, they struggle to recover. Others, it's a good thing. So what is it about your company that people are missing at the moment, or perhaps could benefit from this discount that's being applied?
Yeah, look, I look at it from our previous experience in a pretty clear way. I mean, you can't take away what we've discovered. I mean, that's the big advantage in the resources industry. If you find 4 million ounces and it's near surface and it goes 2.5 grams, it does. And we've been drilling all this year to increase our confidence, and obviously that will come into the PEA. But when you have that underpinning it's not, that hasn't evaporated with the shares falling. So you've got to accept that underlying the fundamentals of the company haven't changed. And then if I'm looking at where do we used to make money in the resources sector as an investor? Well, I guess it comes back to those points I was talking to you about, the quality. You focus on the quality names, and you're ultimately, if you're as an investor trying to make money out of owning quality names, it's all about timing your entry price into those stocks. So it's right now looks like a great opportunity to buy Rupert Resources shares again. And when they have been trading up to sort of $5 or $6 before, but even from here back to sort of $4, $55 is a great return. And the main aim of our PEA that's coming up is to demonstrate again the fundamentals behind why people should own the shares. Yeah.
But is it that, or is it just a case of stocks are settling back down to more realistic levels? Because 2020 was money thrown around left, right, and center. 2021 there's a bit of exuberance, and then the sheens kind of come off the precious metals sector, and there's a lot of pressure with gold price coming down. There's a lot of pressure with kind of capex stories. Capex numbers being blown out of the waters. Margins are not going to be what they once were, and marginal projects are going to suffer from that. But like even you, with your 4 million ounces. You're in bed with everyone else, as it seems, in terms of the way people are valuing it.
And maybe that when markets sell off, everything tends to sell off together, and sometimes when the gold price runs, everything rises together. I guess it comes back to those key points about the company, though. Is it a better investment than other stocks in the market? I mean, we still have a relatively healthy market capitalization, which is a good place to be. Why do we have that? Again, because the one thing I take away from the conference, if I go around it, there's been very, very few discoveries in this sector for like 10 or 15 years. And certainly very few, I think I can count on one hand, the sort of comparable, if I think about peer group companies, a couple in Australia, a couple in Canada, and we're all at slightly different stages. Some of them are a bit further in front of us. Some of them don't even have a resource yet. But it is so few significant discoveries that are relevant to the industry. So I think, we when the market comes back, I think obviously there'll be a return to people wanting to own these particular stocks, because you can't take away from the guys that produce gold are still going to run out of, their production is still going to start dropping off in 7 or 8, 9 years from now, and they need projects to fill that gap as well. So I think there's plenty of reasons to still be pretty positive about owning a stock.
But how do you change your mind in moments like this? When the market's hot and your shares are on the rise and you're worth $1 billion, according to the marketplace, all things are possible. When you kind of come off like this, there's a kind of reset moment. There's a kind of like, well, maybe we shouldn't be drinking the Kool-Aid. Maybe we need to reassess how we go about this. And I do hear what you're saying. Discoveries are rare as hen's teeth, but then there are discoveries and then there are discoveries. You've got to deliver a scale, you've got to deliver economics, and you've got to have the market pay attention to all of the above.
Yeah. And the market just to care, in reality, when you get into situations like this. I think, look, the one thing we don't control is the share price. Obviously, that is, when people say, I don't control it, but obviously by news flow and things like that, you provide information for the market to value the company. And so, how do we take it forward from here? There is obviously the very real, period that everyone's looked at in the past. You discover something, there's a bit of hubris around it, and then you go through this period of the studies and carry on that process. But if you look at the maths of that, obviously you discover something for $10 an ounce, gets revalued by the market to maybe $100, or as we got to up to like $170, $180 an ounce, because of the quality of the discovery. But we're still valued at $100 an ounce, so we're still creating value there. As you go through those study phases, the aim is to try and take that valuation from $100 to $400 an ounce, ultimately through that period. Obviously, it doesn't have the same multiple on it. You're still creating value and demonstrating value. But the concern on the other side is, well, how much money are they going to have to raise, and how they're going to get through that period without diluting, the shareholders significantly. And we do have control over that. Obviously, we have between $35 and $40 million in the bank at the moment. We have some flexibility in how we can operate the company. We're fortunate. We're not trying to come to the market for cash today. We're not building our project today, so we're not facing the inflation issues that other companies are doing. And yes, we do have some inflation in drilling costs, but it's all relative. We could just do a little bit less drilling, to temper around that 10 or 12% inflation we're seeing in drilling for now. So I think it's about being in control of your own destiny as a company, ultimately, to whether you're going to be successful. And if you don't have that control, we still have our really good core group of shareholders in this company that have been in there from the beginning, that understand why, our reason for being, our approach to the company. It's really just a case of just taking a step back, really reflecting that we're doing the right thing, that we're spending the money in the right way, that hubris hasn't overtaken us as a management team, and just get on and keep on delivering. That's, these points in the market aren't a bad thing. It'd be great if the market always went up in a uniform way, but it doesn't. And I think, these things are, these points in time, you just have, it's a good check on, really, are we running the business the right way? What are we doing as the main big okay.
Right. So you've talked about a few factors, stuff you can't control, share price, sentiment, things you can control in terms of like getting on the business. But it comes down to one fundamental question for me, which is this company a better company now than it was, say, the beginning of 2022, when it was, you're looking at nearly $6 share price, $1 billion market cap, or has it just slowed down? Has that kind of growth component slowed down? Like, where's the next discovery? What do you need to do next, or is it just entirely down to market sentiment at the moment that's driving that valuation?
Look, I think there's certainly a lot of market sentiment in it. I think that the other factors you mentioned there are relevant, though. Ultimately, do I think the company is a better company now than it was at the beginning of the year? Yes, I actually do think it's better, because our confidence in the in that 4 million ounces, the confidence in the resource is so much stronger today. And look, we'll do a PEA, but that's already out of date. The resource, the drilling cutoff for that was in May. We're back drilling at Ikkari now. We put out an announcement the other day showing a potential extension to it. So I think, but it's really coming down. Are we more confident about the company today? For sure. We're 6 months further down through engineering. We understand those aspects a lot better. So I think all those things point to it being a better company. The exploration, where's the next, a lot of people are, we've been very clear that we are continuing to run as an exploration company. We're allocating €5 million a year to our team just to keep on looking for the next Ikkari. And reality is, a lot of people said, "Oh, how's the exploration going?" And the honest answer is that if we'd made another Ikkari discovery, you'd already know about it, wouldn't you? So you can't fake that ultimately. But we are doing the work very systematically and disciplined way. Our team are still fired up in terms of the district. And if I look at our geological understanding, is our geological team better at doing their job today than they were 6 to 9 months ago, which is really what investors care about. And yes, they are. That our understanding of why Ikkari is there is vastly improved over that time, and we brought in the right external people to help us. So I guess it goes back. So I think we are a better company ultimately than we were 6 to 9 months ago. But the gold price is lower. It's 1,600 versus 1,800. That's a reflection on its margins. But actually, look at the gold price in euros. Maybe obviously we're a Finnish operator, and the gold price hasn't seen such a fall. So you have to take these other local factors into account. And the Canadian euro exchange rate has gone massively in our favour. So we've been able to make our Canadian dollars go further in Europe as well.
Right, and I just want to finish with this one, because if your exploration team don't make another discovery, how does Ikkari stack up as a standalone asset? Do you think you would kind of struggle to kind of see any more growth component of this story, or is this just what some of these majors and mid-tiers are looking for?
I don't look. I guess if we don't go and find something in a brand new area outside of Ikkari, let's take that. But if you just think about that Ikkari area, and if we've gone online, there's a slide in our presentation online which just has a drone photo of over Ikkari. But obviously you've got Ikkari. We've already got the satellites. You've got B2 Gold drilling next door on their Helmi discovery, which is a kilometre away. All those things are demonstrating that even if we don't find anything outside of the Ikkari deposit, if I look forward, there's a 20+ year mine life at Ikkari. In terms of a business that could be developed there over the next 10 years, there will be more to be found. Our confidence in the system is that there will be more to found, whether it's at depth or other satellite wells. Classic example is we're just about to start our condemnation drilling. We've got to find a place where there isn't any mineralization to put waste dumps infrastructure. That's just places we've never drilled that are within 500 meters of Ikkari. So, whilst we haven't prioritized them, what our understanding of the system is now, there's every chance that they'll probably throw something up as well. So Ikkari itself hasn't finished, we haven't determined the system around that, the limits of that. And if you think about it, we haven't sort of ring fenced the size of what that business could become. And that's what people should still remember.
Okay. Ikkari can get bigger. You're hunting for the next discovery. You've got capital at the moment, and it's a better company than it was.
Pretty much.
Not bad messages to put into the marketplace. Yeah. And we would tend to agree. So look, appreciate your time today. Thanks for making time to see us. Stay in touch. Let us know if you get anything via the drill bit or otherwise. And I guess the next time we're speaking to you, we'll know a little bit more about this PEA and its timing.
Yeah, no, look, that'll be the next thing, the next big catalyst, and we'll get that information out as soon as it is ready.